it. Oh, I disconnected everyone. Why is it waiting? Okay, give me a second. Everyone can hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Let me see, because most of the time here the net connection was really stable. That's why I switched into the another laptop. Let me see. If it was not working, you will find another way. Okay, let me pull up the chart first. Give me 1 minute. Put the full volume. Hope you can hear me clearly now.
Yes.
Yes. That's awesome. Okay. Yeah, you see the slides also?
Yes.
Okay. Whenever you're feeling like my voice was not stable, please tell me immediately. Okay. So I will do some other thing to make it work properly. Okay. Anyway, I will start from the beginning itself, because I'm really not how much you can hear this. I will quickly revise this one. Okay. The planets and the minds, how you can combine all the 9 planets which we saw the last week, how we can combine that planets with the mind level. The mind can be your intelligent or your structured emotions, whatever the thing, how you can combine with the relevant planet. For that, the Mercury represents the intelligence, the Saturn represents the structured one. The Saturn is a kind of the very good in judgment. These people are very good in judgment. How come these people are very good in judgment? Because they are very much organized, very much structured. Whatever they are doing, they do it in a very structured manner. And the moon is exactly representing all kind of your emotions, whether it is the happy emotions, sad emotions, is represented by your moon. Then the Ragu is the quality is the obsession in a negative sense. Okay, they not obsession means it's not only in one particular thing, not in the material thing only. They are obsessed with the spiritual growth also. That's why they obsessed in all dimensions. Okay, and the Mars, when it comes into the Mars, you imagine imagine or visualize the warrior. How the warrior will behave, exact quality, exact emotion belongs to the Mars. Then the Venus is the beautiful, adorable luxury. It's all with that kind of the emotion belongs to mind thing. Okay, belongs to Venus. Jupiter, it represents your higher wisdom. And the sun is you, self-esteem, how much you are confident, uh, how much you believe in yourself. That kind of the thing represent your sun. And finally, the Ketu is disconnected, means he disconnected from everything. The most of the time they live in the future or in the past. They disconnect from the present moment itself. They always live in an imaginary world, even though they speak, they work, they live a day-to-day life, but they always live in an imaginary world. Okay. That's the quick introduction about the mind. I quickly move on. Okay, this is nothing but the ruler. We already saw this one, the ruler and the relevant zodiac signs. We every week we are revising that one, right? The ruler of the Aries and the Scorpio is Mars, ruler of the Taurus and the Libra is Venus, ruler of the Gemini and the Virgo is Mercury, ruler of Cancer is Moon, ruler of Leo is Sun, and Sagittarius and Pisces ruler is Jupiter. Saturn is a ruler of the Aquarius and the Capricorn. Okay, the same thing which is represented in here itself. Now we'll come into the new syllabus, that is the classification of the signs. What is the meaning of the classification? The entire 12 zodiac signs, or in other words, 12 constellation, be classified into different ways. One is by your the elements. The next is by in the qualities, how it was moving based on the movable qualities, and the last is based on the gender wise. Okay. Uh, what is the meaning of the Kalapurusha chart is the ruler of the time factor, right? They consider the ruler of the time factor, they imagined as the cosmic man. That cosmic man is the Kalapurusha. For that Kalapurusha, the generic horoscope will be represented. That is called as the Kalapurusha chart. If, for example, you most of the time you see that it always start in the second box from the top row. Second box only it was started. We know the reason as well, because that is a 0 degree. We imagine that is a 0 degree. Okay. And the sun was raised here for the Kalapurusha. So that is a 0 degree. Imagine that is a Lagna for the Kalapurusha. So first house for the Kalapurusha is Mesha, second house is Rishabha, third house is Mithuna, going on like that till Meena, 12th house. Okay. So till now in the Kalapurusha chart, whatever the things we learned, the first line we already learned. The third line, if you see the Jupiter, Mars, Venus, Mercury, that we already learned. Today, what we are going to learn, the second one, the second, and where you are seeing Agni, movable wheel, that is the classification of the 12 zodiacs. That we are going to learn today. Okay, till now very much clear?
Yes.
Okay, now we'll see how we are going to classify based on the elements. Okay, now before entering into the classification, we have to understand what are the elements. The Panchaputa means 5 elements. Panchabhuta means Pancha is the 5, Bhuta is the elements. So 5 elements. What is that? Earth, earth, water, fire, air, and the Akash. So why we need only considering the fire, earth, air, and water? Because if this one was the stable, the in order to make this one this stable, the Akash plays the biggest role because it connects everything and plays it into one good shape. If anyone's in their life, they want to balance or stabilize these 4 elements, what they have to do, if they balance the Akash Tattva, these 4 elements will be stabilized and grounded automatically. Okay. How you can easily identify if any one of the elements was missing in their not in a good state in one of them, you can easily identify based on their emotion, based on their behavior. For example, I can't go through all the 4 elements, but I will give you one example. If one person was anger all the time, they speak everything without even thinking. They act without even thinking anything. They do anything rash. Then that means that person fire quality was unbalanced. It's unstable. They have to improvise their fire quality. They have to stabilize their fire elements in their body. Like that, every element shows in the men or women's behavior or in their emotion. You can easily identify that. Okay. So for that, the entire 12 zodiac signs is also classified based on these 4 elements. Let's see the property of the fire first. The fire, these peoples will, when I say these peoples mean that the fire in the zodiac sign, which is whichever it was that box was representing, whenever I say these people means I'm mentioning that constellation, that zodiac sign. Okay. That zodiac sign, whoever the peoples belongs to that zodiac signs or that constellation, I'm mentioning these peoples. Okay. What are that fire belongs to? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. In Sanskrit was Mesha, Simha, Dhanush. These 3 things comes under the fire element. These 3 zodiac signs comes under the fire element. How? What is the behavior and nature of the fire element? They are very, very quick in action. They are very active. Very active means so much active. Their energy level was so high. And naturally, the courage will be inside in them. Even though if you look like they are not very courageable person, but in their mind level, they are so much courageous. They are like a exact warrior kind of people in the mind level. And in the some people, they look in the physical body also, but in the mind level, they are really very strong and courageable person. And when it comes into the earth is a Rishabha. Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. That is Rishabha, Kanya, and Makara. When these people, the earth, what is the earth properties? They are very, very practical. They won't think about the past. They won't think about the future. They are so much practical. They live in the present, and they are very dependable in nature. Very solid person. What does that mean? They won't do anything rashly. They won't do anything very much impatiently. They are very patient in nature. They whenever they are doing their action, they know what they are doing. Even when they are writing, speaking, whatever they are doing, they know what they are doing. Okay, that kind of the solid person is Earth. And importantly, they know what to do in their life also. They no need any other people's help. And these earth peoples are very, very good in planning. If you want to plan anything, then get help from this earth element peoples. If you want to plan any kind of thing, not planning in the financial, not planning in your any kind of budget, anything, whatever the planning involves, even for a house planning or a design, architecture, whatever the things which is involved in the planning, this earth peoples will do fantastic job. Okay, then goes into third element is the air. Air is the Gemini, is Mithuna, Libra, Tula, Aquarius is Kumbha. Okay, these people are very much thinkers, and they are like very they are easily mingle with the people. The communication level is also so good. But sometimes these peoples are detached from the social environments. Like sometimes they think overthink, and they think like they won't consider other people's. Suppose they speak like without considering other people's emotion. They communicate whatever they want in their mind. So these people are very, very good communicators. If you want any kind of communication involved, any action or any job, these people will do their job very, very perfectly. The air element peoples. And these people are very light in nature. What does that mean? For example, they won't hold the emotion in themselves. They whatever they how much they are unemotional at sometimes, they behave themselves to them also. They won't carry the emotions. They leave out all the garbage outside. They live very light. They won't shoulder any kind of an emotions. Okay. Now coming to the water peoples. These peoples are very special. I'll tell you why. Cancer, Scorpio, Vrishika, Pisces, Meena. This element, these zodiac signs belong under the water element. And these people are highly, highly emotional. And it was like they're very, very nurturing in nature. That's why the Kadaka is coming into the picture. Whoever the Kadaka Rasi people or Kadaka Lucknow people, if you see them, they are very nurturing in the nature. They try to help others. They try to do all kind of the love and adorable things to the others. The water elements is also represent the same thing, but here the one bad and a good quality. They're very sympathetic and empathetic. Why is becomes a bad quality? Because they won't express themselves. They know what other peoples are doing. They know what is happening in and around them, but they won't express. They watch everything. Okay, whatever this is going on, I know what's going on, but they won't express. But when the time comes, they reach the patient level. Consider their patient level was so much high. But if they reach the tolerant level, beyond the tolerance level, they burst out and they show the real anger. But this water element peoples are really sensitive and very, very emotional in nature, but they won't express. If you can imagine this kind of the people, uh, they're emotional, but they won't express both together. How you can homework on this? You try to see what are the peoples in and around you belongs to which element. You can easily identify them: fire element, earth element, air element, water element. But you may ask all the every living or non-living beings, it belongs to the Panchapuda. Yes, definitely. Okay, but why this classification? It means if for the particular person, this one is the dominant one. That's why the classification comes into the picture. In the zodiac sign, whenever say the fire is belongs to Mesha, Simha, Dhanush, it doesn't mean the other element was not present in that. Other element was there, but this fire was highly dominant. Okay, we'll move on. This representation in the zodiac sign itself. Already we saw the fire element is in the Mesha, Simha, Dhanush, and the earth element Rishabha, Kanya, and the Makara. Okay, here you have to notice one thing. Oh my God, I quickly went. Okay, here you have to notice whenever we consider that this is the Mesha and some of the Graha was here. Okay, consider the Mars planet was here. What are the things you have to keep that in mind? Imagine this is your Mesha is your Lagna as well. Okay, Mesha is the Lagna, that means is the first house, and you know the Mars, who's the owner of that, who's the owner of the Mesha. Imagine the sun, Mars is on the same first house. Imagine the Mars is also Mars planet is also here, and this is the first house, the Lagna of the native. So what are the things you have to understand? First house you have to understand. Own. What is anybody saying something? I hope you can hear me well. Okay.
Go ahead, please.
Okay. First thing, what you have to understand, the Lagna means that particular box. Imagine this is the first one. So you have to understand who's the owner, what is the Rasi belongs to Mesha Rasi, and the owner is the Mars, and the planet which is in that box itself, the Mars. Okay, all three. Then additionally, what you have to understand, okay, what that element belongs to that box. For example, for the Mesha, the element is belongs to fire. So you have to keep all that in mind. That's why I said the astrology is a kind of the layered learning. You won't give an answer in one thing. For example, the Mars was here and is also in the Lagna, and you can't say right away the same thing. Okay, imagine there was in the first house in the Mesha Rasi, Suryan was there. Okay, I mean Sun was there. So that in that way, what you have to do, the underlying owner of that Mesha Rasi is the Mars, and the current planet which is in that house was Sun. Then the element is fire. Then that is the first house. So you have to combine all the thing into whenever you are finding an answer for that particular zodiac sign. Okay. Now the Earth is also same thing. Whenever you are there is some planet you are analyzing in the Rishabha or Taurus, then that time you have to consider the earth element nature also. You have to remember the earth element nature, because the earth element is always solid in nature. They are very good in planning. So you have to keep all that in mind. Whenever the people will say, okay, I'm good in planning, but I'm not very good in executing, then you have to find out what are the other things they are not executing. Why? If they are planned, if that native was very good in the good planets or in the Rishabha, then what is the other planet which is affecting this nature of the native? Then you have to analyze that one. So I don't want to confuse here, but remember this one, whenever you are seeing the chart, you have to add the earth element quality also. Okay, when you are seeing the Rishabha, goes with everything, not only the Rishabha. Okay, wait. Whenever you are seeing, okay, Rishabha, Kanya, and the Makara. Whenever you seeing any planets in that one, you have to add the earth element as well. Now, the air element is also same thing: Mithuna, Tula, and the Kumbha. Okay, and the water, Karka, Vrakshika, and Meena. So water element qualities have to be added with that particular planet. Okay. Now we'll come into the qualities of the. Okay, we have very much less time. Well, okay, let's finish this one. The qualification of the classification based on the qualities. What are these qualities? I quickly tell this one, but we again learn the same thing again in our next class also. Based on the qualities, what is that? If the cardinal, fixed, mutable. In Tamil, they call it as the saram, stram, upayam. The cardinal means it's have the movable property. Fixed means it's in the fixed. Mutable means it's in the same combined qualities of the first two. It have the properties of the cardinal. It has the properties of the fixed. So then that comes into the mutable one. So this is again, first thing we'll understand what is the cardinal, fixed, and the mutable qualities. Then we will see how it was placed in the Kalapurusha chart. Okay. For the cardinals thing, these peoples are very interested in the changing. They love to change the location. They love to change the job. They love to change whatever they are studying. They love to be changing. They want change in their life. This is the this classification belongs to Mesha, Kadaka, Tula, and the Makara. Okay, these four zodiac signs belongs to under the qualities of the cardinals or movable. Okay, and these people are have very good quality. They are the self starters. They want because they are interested in the changing, right? They always want a new beginning. They always want to start something new. They always want to do something new in their life. They need a change in their life all the time. Okay. Then comes into fixed one. That is the Taurus. That means Rishabha, Simha, Vrikshika, and the Kumbha. As I said, the Taurus, and if you see this qualities of the earth element and this all the elements qualities and this movable qualities also mixed together. If you clearly, I will show you in the Kalapurusha chart how that all the four elements and this qualities combined together to give this. Okay, if you remember, Rishabha is the earth element, and now comes into the fixed. Makes sense, right? Because these peoples are really solid in nature. But when comes into the Leo, Leo is in the fire. Simha is the fire. But their quality is the fixed one. What is that meaning? They had that kind of the courageful person, but they are also not in the they don't want to change all the time. They're very consistent in their whatever they are practicing. They are consistent in anything. They are consistent in their life. They are very much content. They feel very content in their life. Okay. The Scorpio. If you see the Scorpio, okay, wait a second. If you see the Scorpio is under the water element. Okay. But it's also in the cardinal movement. It's a fixed people. What is that meaning? When the water is the kind of, they are highly emotional, very sensitive, they are empathetic peoples. But when the fixed qualities are attached, what is that meaning? They know how to control their emotion. They can know how to handle the emotion. Okay. Wait a second. Now we'll see on the Aquarius. Aquarius, we see this one. Okay, Aquarius is combined with the air element. The air element is the nature is they always fly in the sky. They don't worry about anything. They always fly in the sky, but they have the very good communication skill. But when it comes combined with the fixed qualities, what is that meaning? They know what they are trying to speak. They won't hurt others. They are very much good in the speech. They know at which place, what time, what they have to say in front of which people, who's in front of them, what they have to say. They know everything. Okay. So the gender we'll see next week because that one was an interesting topic to discuss. Okay, now coming to the mutable one. Mutable means it's a mixed quality. It's a card. They're moving. They're fixed. Both the things combined together. It's a quite dangerous one also. Why? Because they are in the cat on the wall. Mithuna. Okay, if you see the Mithuna was comes under. If you see the Mithuna was comes under Gemini under the year. So they are already is in the yeah quality. They are very good speaker. Even then they are like free emotion. They don't worry about anybody. But when the mutable qualities is also combined, what it will becomes kind of that kind of the quality will be aggravated, and they are still they are very much good in the speaking, but at the same time they are cat on the wall. They sometimes they do good speaking, good communication. They sometimes they don't bother about other people's emotion. They do whatever they want. Okay. Oh. Okay, then the Virgo, Kanya. Kanya is an interesting one. Why? It's earth element. You remember the earth is the very, very stable, they are solid person. But when it's combined with the quality of the mutable, what that means, this even though they are solid, even though they are very much stable in nature, but it in front of everybody, they looks like that. They are very stable person. They are very good in very, very, very stable in nature. But in their mind level, they were very hard to make a very single decision. For example, if they want to pick one dress, they will think 100 times. If they want to go to one place, even if you want to go for the shopping, they will have the double triple mind. Okay, I want to go there, go not there. But in outside, they are very much stable. They're stable in nature, but this quality is add on that becomes the unstable. It's a kind of the cat on the wall. Even though they are stable, but this qualities is also added on them. Okay. Okay, last few things. We'll take 2-3 minutes more than our usual time. Okay. Why it's not going? Okay. Then the Sagittarius. This one is very interesting. I will tell you why. It's a fire element and with the mutable one because they are already fire in the nature. If okay, I'll show you that. The Sagittarius is the fire in inbuilt nature. Where whoever the people which is born on the Dhanush, they are always fire in the nature. But additionally, this mutable is also coming. Mutable qualities also add on to that property. What it will become? Even though they are very much courageous, very strong in body level, sometimes their mind will become goes. They don't know what kind of the decision they have to make. They feel like sometimes they don't feel courageous in the mind level. Okay, that kind of the nature will be again, it's a kind, whatever the thing which you read for the Sagittarius is the courageous, strong, and other kind of the warrior quality. When the mutable qualities are combined in them, the half of the quality was suppressed. Okay, they do even then they were so much courageous, but sometimes they may not courageous. Naturally, they are a very strong person, but for the mutable quality, sometimes they weren't. Okay. Okay, the final one, that is the Pisces. The Pisces is an interesting one again. If you see, it's combined with the water and the mutable. Okay, why I say it is an interesting. The water is the highly emotional, sensitive, and empathetic person, and they are very much sensitive. Combined the nature of the mutable one. This mutable is the combined quality of the cardinal and the fixed. They are the cat on the wall. Imagine if the person was highly emotional and they don't have an idea of how to make a decision, and this mutable qualities is also add on. They're finding a decision for one simple thing in their life, they find quite difficult. But they have the very good qualities. They will give the very good ideas to others. That we will see in the later point in time. But this all the combined qualities. Okay, what is your homework here? Take your birth chart. Okay, then note down how you can note down this fire earth planet. Okay, I will show you that. Okay, in the Kalapurusha chart, the second line, if you see that, that starts with Agni, Earth, Air, Water, Agni, Earth, Air, Water, Agni, Earth, Air, Water. Okay. Then the movable, fixed, dual, movable, fixed, dual, movable, fixed, dual, movable, fixed, dual. Okay. Take your birth chart, exactly copy this one. Okay. Then write whichever the element that boxes was belong. Okay, remember you have to exactly represent this Kalapurusha chart only, not based on the Lagna. Okay, take an example of this Kalapurusha chart as an example. Take your birth chart, then note down which box representing which element and which quality it was representing. Okay, then once you combined all this one, then I will tell you what you have to do in the next week. Okay, we already breached 7 minutes. Okay, if you have any doubts. I hope you all can hear me very well.
Yeah, yeah. No doubts. Yeah, all fine.
Okay, that's awesome. Okay, if you have any doubts, please post in the message. I may not reply to immediately, but definitely I will answer your question. Okay, I'll see you on next week then. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
Thank you so much.